I'm gonna be real with y'all. I am nervous about this video. I'm nervous to make it. I am putting myself in a position to where I will have a lot of new haters potentially. So, cheers. Hello everyone and welcome to Part of Sarah's World. I'm Sarah and I am both really excited and nervous about today's video. So if you know me, you know I love Pixar. And if you're here, then hopefully you love Pixar too, because today we're talking about all the Pixar films. I absolutely love Pixar, and in fact, a lot of my favorite movies of all time are from Pixar. And it's funny because the first Pixar movie that ever was released, Toy Story, was released the same year that I was born. So it's kind of like I literally grew up with Pixar. But anyways, there are 22 Pixar films, not including Soul, which will be coming out later this year. And I have them ranked in my notebook. Are you ready? Let's go. I went ahead and ranked all the movies from my most favorite to my least favorite, but I'm going to start with my least favorite and we're gonna go up. Just as a disclaimer, these opinions are my own opinions. My ranking is my own opinion. They are not based on any exact analysis or formula. It is solely what I believe, what I love the most. So yeah, last place. When I tell you that I was nervous about making this video, there were a few things on here that made me nervous about it, but this was like the main one. So we're just gonna rip the bandage. We're just gonna go. I'm gonna hurt so many people's feelings. So, number 22. So let me just say that this is not my least favorite because I hate it. I don't hate any Pixar movies. And in fact, I will watch this movie. I will happily watch this movie, but I kind of just wish that it was never made, is all. In last place, we have Toy Story 4. Yep. Now, look, I love Toy Story. I think that Toy Story 3 ended on a good note, and I don't necessarily think they needed to continue. And while I like Forky, and I like some of the newer characters, I think there were too many new characters. Like, we love Toy Story because we love the characters, and a lot of the ones that we love were hardly in the film. I don't love how it ended. It just left kind of like a not so great taste in my mouth. Like, the whole film. I was just kind of like, I kind of just wish like we would have just closed that chapter and it would have been good. Or if they would have made a Toy Story 4, that it just would have been a little better. I don't know, like a little more interesting, maybe a better plot. Like it was just repetitive and redundant, and I just didn't love it. These next 4 movies are movies that I like, I enjoy, but I don't like volunteer to watch on my own. I'm not like in love with them. So with all of that being said, number 21 is Cars 2. And I'm pretty sure that like most people are kind of on board with that. Like even like Cars fans, they're like, yeah, number 2 was like the worst one. So, okay. Number 20 is Cars 3. I don't know. I think more people like Cars 3. I'm just not a big fan of the sequels. I didn't necessarily think that they needed to be done. I watched them, but I'm not in love with them. So yeah. For number 19, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people that are hurt by this, but I think that a lot of other people will agree with me, and that is The Good Dinosaur. In fact, I posted last night that I was watching The Good Dinosaur, and a bunch of people messaged me and were like, I've never seen The Good Dinosaur. I think a lot of people haven't seen it for some reason, and I like it. I think it's cute. I think Arlo is a really cute character. I think that it's fun. It is heartfelt, but the animation style just wasn't the same. It wasn't at the same level as some of the other Pixar films, in my opinion, and it is not the most unique or captivating film I've ever seen, so I'll watch it happily, but I'm not really in love with it. Number 18 is the last movie on this list that I would say is a movie that I don't really love. It's not one that I like think about when I think of Pixar. It's just not, it doesn't cut it for me. And this is one that I think is gonna be controversial. I think when it came out, some people loved it, some people hated it. Very, very, very mixed reviews, and I really wanted to love it. I just didn't. And that's Onward. I mean, I have this mug, this Onward mug, so I don't hate the movie. I like the movie. It's just not a favorite. And I think the reason why it's not a favorite is actually for the same reason why it's a lot of other people's favorites, potentially. And that's why I want to approach this with a level of like sensitivity. And I think it's because I just didn't like the ending. And in fact, I didn't really like the whole plot. In like the beginning of the movie, I knew how the movie was going to end. And I know a lot of people felt like touched by it, or they could relate, or like something, like it really like hit home for them. I think for me, I think that Pixar is ultimately, I don't know, I think that they're getting a little too comfortable with like overly emotionally sad movies, if that makes sense. And like I mentioned, I'm kind of putting these movies in like arbitrary categories, like based on how I feel about them. So these next 3 movies are kind of like movies that I feel the same way about, which is I think that they are great. They are not my go-tos, because I have a lot of go-tos, to be honest. But anyway, but I do quite enjoy them. So we're going to start with number 17, of course, and that is Finding Dory. I remember when I first heard that they were making Finding Dory, and I remember thinking, why? I was just like, oh, they made Finding Nemo so long ago. What's the point, you know? Even though I love Finding Nemo. And I saw the movie, obviously, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. You know, it was heartfelt. It was nice. I don't necessarily think it was necessary. Like, the whole last quarter of the movie gave me so much anxiety. If you remember, like, that whole sequence was just a train wreck. But it was good. So, remember when I said that I was really nervous about making this video? Number 16 is one of those reasons. There's a lot of people that I know who really, really love this movie. And while I've never lied, I've never said that I absolutely love it, I've never really expressed my opinions of this movie before on a public platform. And I'm sure a lot of you might agree with me, but it just so happens I know a ton of people who won't. Number 16 on the list is Cars. I don't know if you would have been able to guess that. You know, I had Cars 2 and 3 pretty low on the list, so maybe you just kind of assumed that it wouldn't be that high up. But yeah, you know, when I first saw Cars when I was a kid, I had no interest in it. I will say when I watched it as an adult, I liked it a lot more. And I like it. I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it, but it's not my go-to. I don't really have much like Cars merch. Like, it's just not my thing, I guess. I don't know. Number 15 is the last of that little subcategory that I was talking about, but it also kind of seeps into like the category above that. And this is a movie that when I first heard about it, I was just like, no, thank you. It's a sequel. But I actually really love it. And I watched it again last night, and I was just like captivated the whole time. It's so funny. It's really good. And that is The Incredibles 2. I don't hear people talking about it much. In fact, I don't really hear people talking about The Incredibles that much. So I don't really know how other people feel about The Incredibles 2. So leave a comment and let me know what you think of it, because I think it's pretty good. I think it's kind of underrated. I don't know. So this next category will be movies 11 through 14. And these are movies that before writing the list, I'm like, oh, they've got to be in the top 10. And then writing the list, they kept on going lower and lower down the list. I'm like, no, wait, please. I love you. So as we climb up the ladder of like 14, 13, 12, 11, my love for them just grows more and more. And I'm just, oh, I love these movies so much. Number 14 is arguably one of the most underrated Pixar movies of all time. I actually didn't see it until I was an adult. And when I did, I absolutely fell in love. Can anyone guess which movie I am talking about? WALL-E. Yeah, so number 14 is WALL-E. When I saw it for the first time, I fell in love. I didn't know if I was gonna love it just because I was like, oh, I don't think there's like much talking in it, and it's probably gonna be like pretty slow paced. But I mean, I was really intrigued by it the whole movie. I really enjoyed it, and also look how adorable these little bag clips are. I collect these mystery little bag clips, and I got them, and I'm absolutely in love with them. For number 13, as much as I love this movie, I love the main character more than I love the movie, and I wish I loved the movie as much as I love the main character. Any guesses as to which movie? Number 13 is Brave. I love Merida so much. I think she's an awesome princess. I think she's so fun. I love Touch the Sky, the song. Amazing song. The first time I saw Brave, I didn't like it, I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was boring and I was sad by that. But part of that is because maybe I just like wasn't fully paying attention to it, because the second time I watched it, I liked it a lot more and it definitely grew on me. So if you're like me and only seen it once, I would recommend watching it again and you might like it more. I don't know. Number 12 is another movie that when I first watched it, I thought it was okay, but the next time I watched it, I was in love with it. And I actually know a lot of people who really, really love this movie too, which makes me happy, and that is Coco. I love Coco. I love the music. I love the characters. I love the whole storyline. And I think what I love most about the movie is honestly the animation and like the colors and the aesthetic and like the vibrancy and just everything that just makes it so beautiful. I just think it's such a well done film. Number 11 is a pretty popular Pixar movie, I think. And it's used in like a lot of jokes like recently, I don't know, like on TikTok. I just feel like I see it all the time, and like its song, it's used a lot. I don't know if you can like guess based off what I'm saying. But number 11 is Ratatouille. I think it's just such a fun story, and I watched it the other day and I just couldn't keep my eyes off of it because I was like supposed to be cleaning, and usually when I'm cleaning and watching a movie, I'm focused more on cleaning, but I was just like way more focused on Ratatouille. I was just really entertained by it. So yeah, I just really like it. We have finally made it to the top 10. Now the top 10 are just the movies that I am just so in love with, that mean everything to me, that when I think of Pixar, I think of them. I can't get enough of them. Even though I really can't get enough of like the last few movies I just mentioned. I love them so much too. But these are the top 10, baby. Here we go. Number 10 is Toy Story 3. It seems like everyone has a different like list of like their rankings of the Toy Story movies on Instagram. It's a very common question to ask, which Toy Story movie is your favorite? Toy Story 3, I think is a lot of people's like favorite, maybe. It's not mine, but it's obviously in the top 10. I absolutely love it. But I just like the other two better. That's pretty much all it is. I don't really have much else to say. I really struggled with 8 and 9 because I just didn't know what order I wanted to put them in. They're basically tied. In fact, I'm looking at this list now and I'm like, I don't know about that. I think I might want to change it. So let me think hold on, pause. I'm going to think about this. You know what? I worked really hard on this list. I've been working on this for a while now, and I'm confident in my answers. I'm not going to change it. So yeah. I absolutely love number 9. In fact, the book bag that I always wear to the parks is themed of this movie. It is Up. Up is number 9 on the list. I usually have this little bag clip on my book bag, but I put it up here even though you can't, I'm blocking it the whole time. But for this video, I brought it out and it is this Carl little bag clip. I think it's the cutest thing ever and it goes so well with my book bag. But anyway, Up is such a beautiful movie. I mean, first of all, the characters are so charming and wonderful. I love the colors, like the whole aesthetic of the movie is beautiful. I think why it's not higher on my list is because I can't just watch it. I think a lot of people are like that. You can't just casually watch it because it makes you cry so badly. Okay, maybe not you. Me. I'm talking about me. It makes me cry so much. It's horrible. Anyways, you know what? We should just move on to number 8 or else I'm just gonna cry. Number 8 is a movie that when I was a kid, it was one of my absolute favorites. I loved it so much. And I think growing up, I think I've slightly grown out of it. I mean, I am an adult, but I do still love it. It's still very nostalgic. And I watch it, I laugh, we have a good time. And that movie is Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is just a really cute movie. It's really fun. The characters are super lovable, and you know what I really miss? I really miss the Finding Nemo musical at Animal Kingdom. Oh my goodness, please bring it back. I miss it. Leela, baby. Hello. Oh, hi, Leela. All right, well, I guess we can move on to number 7. I think number 7 is going to surprise some people. I think for a lot of people, this movie would be higher up on their list. Look, this whole top half of the list, I'm obsessed with all of these movies, okay? This list was so hard to come up with. So, number 7 is really high on my list in my mind. Anyway, number 7 is Toy Story. That's right, Toy Story 1 is number 7 on the list. Toy Story is the first Pixar movie, and I just think that it encapsulates everything that is just so wonderful about Pixar. The animation was great, the characters are so lovable, the dialogue is hilarious, and there's someone outside my window. In case you're wondering what Leela is staring at so intently, that would be a woman walking her dog, and Leela is not having it. Editing Sarah here, the audio in the next clip didn't work, so I'm just going to say what I said, and that is Toy Story 2 is next on the list. The reason why I beat Toy Story is because of my love for Zurg and Jessie. Okay, sorry about that. Back to regularly scheduled programming. So yeah, I really like Zurg. But anyway, also Toy Story 2, I was able to see in the movie theaters. Like I wasn't able to see the first Toy Story because I was like not even a year old. And so I think the memories of like seeing it in theater really stick with me as well, which I think is why it is up there for me. We have officially made it to the final 5. These are the movies that I just could not put lower than number 5. These were the ones that just have stuck with me the most throughout life, and that they just mean a lot to me. For movie number 5, my friends and I all went to the midnight premiere of this movie. We were so excited, and it did not disappoint. Since I was older when it came out, any guesses, perhaps? I think I was in high school. I think it was when I graduated high school. Monsters University. Yes, I love Monsters University. It is such a good movie. It is my humor. But not only is it funny, it also came out as I was graduating high school and I was about to move to college, move states. And it was a movie about going to college, and so it was just really cool. And then that summer, my friends and I went to Disney for a graduation trip, and we met Mike and Sully with their Monsters University setup, and that was really, really cool. So it is a pretty sentimental movie to me. We're gonna move on to number 4, and I have a very strong feeling that for most people, this movie is not as high on the list as it is for me. I think it's an incredibly underrated movie. It is so good. It is just as good as all the other super, super popular Pixar movies. I don't know why it is not as recognized as it should be. And that, my friends, is A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life was the second Pixar movie to be released, and since I was little when it came out, I did see it a lot at home, watched it all the time. I was obsessed with Dot. I wanted to be best friends with Dot. I love Princess Ada. Heimlich is one of the best characters ever. I'm obsessed with him. I desperately want that Heimlich Loungefly bag. I know there's a couple, but the one where it's him with his little wings. Oh, I just love it so much. But anyway, I adore A Bug's Life. I just think it's so wonderful. I will say, one reason why it stuck with me so much is because I had recurring nightmares about Hopper. He was a scary villain. Literally, I would have the same nightmare over and over again that he was trying to eat me. So, yeah. Okay, everyone, it is time to get serious. This is the top 3 for me. Number 3 is actually my boyfriend's favorite Pixar movie, and he does not understand why it's not also my favorite Pixar movie. He thinks it is far superior than any other Pixar movie, but it is my number 3. I love it, and it is The Incredibles. I don't necessarily think The Incredibles is underrated, but I do think that people sometimes forget how good it is, if that makes sense at all. I don't know. I was reminded of just how much I love The Incredibles. Growing up, oh my goodness, it was my favorite movie. I loved it so much. I wanted to be Violet, literally. I wanted to be her so badly. Now I want to be Mrs. Incredible. If you relate. Also, I'm mad at myself because I have this incredible scrunchie that I was supposed to be wearing this entire video, but I forgot about until now. Well, there are 2 movies left, and you might know what those 2 movies are. You might have lost track, but I'm just gonna say which one number 2 is. And then obviously I'll say which one number 1 is. Who's your friend that likes to play bing bong, bing bong? That's right, Inside Out is my second favorite Pixar movie of all time. When I saw it in theaters, I was just so in love, and I had to tell everyone that they had to see it. In fact, I saw it 3 times because if someone I knew hadn't seen it, I'm like, okay, we're gonna go see it now. It is just such a phenomenal movie. The animation is amazing. I love the colors and I love the characters. I love Joy so much. She is one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. I love meeting her at Epcot. It's so much fun. I want to be Joy so badly. However, people like to tell me that I look like Sadness. Oh well. I don't really know how to introduce the number 1 spot because, I mean, most of y'all probably know what it is because you've been keeping track, or you just know because you know me. So I'm just gonna say that my number 1 movie is Monsters Incorporated. Yay! So, why is Monsters Inc. my number 1 Pixar movie? Well, I mean, it came out when I was like 5 or 6, so it's like perfect age for, Pixar movie, and I really just loved it. I saw it in theaters. It's the first movie I remember seeing in theaters. And I just thought it was so funny, so entertaining, so like attention grabbing, I suppose. And I also remember being so attached to the characters. I loved Boo so much. I thought I related to Boo pretty well. I remember... Monsters Inc. is also the first movie that I cried over. When Boo said bye to Sully and Kitty, I cried. I cried in that theater, and I remember the whole way home I cried. I just thought it was really sad, but clearly that movie really struck a chord with me, I just felt all the emotions while watching it, and I think that Mike Wazowski is like the funniest character ever, and I know he's like really like cheesy, but I mean, and he's like self-deprecating and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, that's my humor. It's funny, it's fun. But yeah, like the combination between like the physical comedy and like the witty dialogue and the banter and all that kind of stuff, and like the play on words, all like those little like subtle moments of humor really all just tie in together, and it just makes such a funny, good movie that really stuck with me. Like I said, I love the characters so much. As you can see, I have little Toy Story alien as Sully. I also have Roz and Randall, but they're on the opposite side of the room. I don't know, I feel like I've just been rambling. But basically, yeah, I just feel like I relate to it in a way. It connects with me, resonates with me. If Monsters Inc. is also your favorite Pixar movie, let me know in the comments so we can celebrate that together. So after weeks of having this idea, days of refreshing my brain by watching Pixar movies, just using so many pages in this notebook, scribbling out movies, stacking them on top of each other, trying to figure it out, thinking about how I'm gonna get canceled, I finally did it. I shared with y'all my least to most favorite Pixar movies. I would really like to know what y'all's thoughts are, but I do ask that you keep it respectful and not like super mean in the comment section. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. What's your favorite Pixar movie? I don't know, I just think that my list, I don't know how like similar it is to other people's. I feel like it's probably not very similar. And just as a reminder, these are my opinions and my opinion only. And I did not mean to hurt anyone's feelings if your favorite was not my favorite. If you like these types of videos where I rank things, let me know and I will continue doing that because this was pretty fun. And if you also like these videos where I just sit at home and talk, make sure that you check out my mystery pin unboxing video. That was a really fun video to film. If you're not subscribed yet, you can go ahead and do so. I often go to the parks, and so I'm always doing like snack reviews, dining reviews, fun park challenges, and then the occasional home video, but I will be doing more of these because it's gonna get pretty busy during the holiday season at Disney, and also I have blockout dates in December, like towards Christmas. So yeah, let me know if you have any ideas or suggestions for me. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, all that fun stuff. thank y'all so much for watching. It means so much to me if you stuck around for this whole video. And until next time, just remember that no matter where I am or where you are, we can find happiness right where we are.